Oh, I didn't even realize my sound was off. Sorry, Katie.
It's okay. You weren't saying anything.
I wasn't, but I had no idea that I didn't know the volume on my computer turned on.
And I'm going to be the lady with the eyeballs.
I was like, wow, everybody's so quiet this morning. Okay. We are live on the Facebook. I'm going to take that down. Okay. Do this. Kristen's here in person. And that was you. Okay, I think we're relatively squared away. Good morning, everyone. Today I think this may be all that we have coming in today, but today I wanted to go into some of the basics of having a business Facebook page and what I use mine for, how I use it, and just some examples. Take what you want from this and utilize it, or take it and leave it. I don't care. This is just some examples. You make it your own. I like to see what people do with what I've shown them, because it's usually a starting place. So this is my Facebook page. I'm going to go up here to pages. If you've not already set up your business page, you will need to. I think I've done a YouTube video on it. If not, let me know and I will make one. As you can see, I manage several YouTube pages for business pages. These are the whole list. So if you think that it looks like something that I've created, it probably is. Myself or Holly. So we're going to go into mine. Sorry, I have the hiccups again. One day I'm going to outgrow these. So as you can see, last night I made a video for the casserole that I made. It was a recipe from my childhood. I hadn't had this in probably like 15 years. So my mom and I both lost the recipe, and I thought, we really should find a way to preserve this in some way. And we don't have exact measurements. So this is like the way my grandma would have made something, like get you a chicken and pluck it. I didn't quite start from that long, but so if you even just like a random recipe. So Martin will tell you a story about how we need to change the back ears. I have that saved, so I can take that out. Sorry, Kristen has hers pulled up right next to me, and I just saw something that needs to be updated. Martin will tell you a story about how there was a girl in his old office in Texas, and she used to send out recipe cards all the time. I'm sure, Kristen, you've heard this story. I doubt Katie's been here long enough to hear this a lot, because Martin kind of quit teaching as much. But she used to send out recipe cards once a month, and they would have her information on the back of them and everything. Well, she had some people that were past clients. They emailed her and they were like, hey, here's our new address. We don't want to miss out on your recipe cards. Katie, can you tell me why her past clients telling her their new address, why is that a problem?
Or telling, you said.
Do what?
Repeat that question. Why is
her past clients giving her their new address so that they don't miss out on the recipe cards? Why is that a problem?
Oh, it isn't a problem.
Well, it is, because they didn't come to her to get the new house. They just came to her to get the recipe cards sent to the new house. So they kind of forgot that she was a realtor. They just wanted to keep getting recipe cards. So when you're doing things like this food one, this is the first food one I've ever done. I won't do these very often, but they're a nice little added touch. I have a Pinterest page as well. That's mainly what I did this for, was for the Pinterest page, because I don't want other people's stuff online. So I want to have some things that are relevant for that social media platform, which food is relevant. I'm not going to be posting workout pictures anytime soon. So that's like the only other thing that you put on Pinterest very often is workout plans. And that's not part of my lifestyle on a regular basis. So we're only going to be doing some food stuff. I put houses on there. I do put houses in like the Lake Area Happenings page and stuff like that. Be careful with those. Make sure that you know the rules around doing them in there. Make sure that you include the office name and number. I usually include the MLS number as well, because obviously there's other agents on there. So I want them to be able to easily reference what what house I'm talking about, so that if they see it and they're like, oh, I have some clients that would like to see that, I think, then they can easily send it to their clients. So that's kind of like the behind the scenes on the Facebook stuff. I guess maybe not behind the scenes, but just some added tips and tricks that I didn't want to forget to talk about. Make sure that your content's relevant. I was waiting for some clients to show up to a showing Saturday, and I took this picture of this tree blooming, just something to be, we've talked about this before, but the light in the darkness. I don't like to see a lot of negative things on my Facebook feed. I'm sure that I'm not the only person that feels that way. So I don't post negative things. I just flat out don't. I keep that to myself. If I have a problem, I go on a rant, and my fiance listens to me. He's very wonderful in that way. And then, I just post positive pictures to my business account. They don't always pertain to real estate, but like this one pertaining to nature does kind of tie into real estate, because our area is very beautiful. We have lots of state parks. Nature is something that people are seeking to leave the city life to be able to see things like this on a more prevalent basis. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on the great things about this area that can help sell this area, but also aren't off topic. And so this post, I'm deliberately trying to get people to engage with my page, because I have a very unengaging database here on Facebook. And so with this, I put a motivational quote up every single week. And this is my dry erase board that I do that on. Typically, I just post a picture of the quote on there, but my goal is to get other people from my database and Facebook community engaged. So I'm asking them to give me their motivational quotes. That's why I use the hashtag what motivates you. And that's why I posted a blank one, because I kind of want to get people's attention. Like, why are we staring at a blank dry erase board? When I send out mailers, and you can see I was watching Ignite while I did this Friday night. I post pictures about that because I want people to see that I'm working. I want them, they don't, obviously I didn't include addresses or anything silly, but just the letter, because then you never know who I could reach by just having this letter on there. And then the picture of Ignite, because I want people to know that I'm completing more education and more education. It didn't just stop with my licensing. Main events like the Magic Dragon, any lake news, big news that's on there that isn't like super negative, I will post that. So big events happening when the lake race happens, the live feed for the shootout, things like that, I will make sure on here, fundraisers.
So when you go to post that, I've tried to post stuff and post stuff in there. How do I pull that to be able to do that?
Okay. If you didn't hear Kristen's question, it's how do you use things from other people's Facebook page on yours? So let's go to Expo.
So I just search up here.
Yeah, I'm just purposely going to something that I know has lake news on it.
Lake Expo News or Lake Expo Ozarks?
I just did Lake Expo and it took me straight to their page.
How come mine looks different than yours?
You have to click on their name.
On this one?
Mm-hmm.
See how it goofy I am?
Okay. So then you just kind of scroll down to whatever you want. I don't really want to advertise for here. We'll do this when the Lake Lake of the Ozarks Aquapalooza moves to Captain Ron's set for July 17th. This is something that people that come down here to party, vacation, however you want to define that, they will want to know this information. So you want to be their source of information. That's a goal of yours for Lake News. You want to be that source. So we're going to press share right here. And we're going to share to a page, which is currently the second to last option. And then you select the page that you want to share this with. I selected my Elise Jenkins Keller Williams Realty. Sometimes I will type words at the top of it, sometimes I don't. So we're just going to press share. And then just to make sure that it posted, I go back to my page. Not now. You don't want to create an event for it. There you go. So now we're going to go back to the business page just to make sure.
How do you do that?
You're going to press the home button.
Okay.
And then your business page is right here.
See, isn't that horrible?
That's not horrible. And then you can see that your post is right there and mine is right here. Now what I would do is I would share it from here to my personal one. So I would click share.
Again, we go.
Actually, hold on. In the top right-hand corner, you're actually going to take this little bubble that has your face on it and drop it down. This one right here.
Okay.
And then you're going to select your personal profile. So you're viewing this profile as your personal main account, not your business account. And then when you press share, it just shares it.
Where's that
to your
share button
timeline?
again?
Scroll down a little bit more. Right there. And then share now to friends. And that shared it to your personal profile. So now if you go back up here and you switch that back down, you can react as Kristen Stordahl Realtor. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to sneeze in a second.
That's good.
No, sneeze. I need to. Gosh darn it.
Oh, that's not my perfume.
No,
Sorry.
no. It's just my allergies are that bad already.
Yeah.
I could tell by the haze that was happening over the lake this morning. It was going to be a rough one. Okay.
Trees.
So that's kind of the basics of content for your business page. I'm going to switch back into this. Let's go into the back end of these business pages, kind of into the settings and stuff.
Where'd you go then?
I'm just in my page here. So this menu on the side on the left is where we're going to be focusing. We'll just start at the top. So the page is obviously the page. This is the feed that you're going to get. I got to remember to use my cursor. This is the feed that you're going to get when you click on page. News feed. Business pages now have their own custom news feeds. So Kristen, you haven't set yours up yet. So that's why it's doing that screen. Mine, those of you that haven't seen me host a Zoom from my home office, I have a small obsession with horses. I will have them again. It's just a matter of time. So I do a lot of donating to Missouri Forget Me Not Horse Rescue. And therefore I follow them on all of my social media. Any account that I manage follows that organization. And Lanai, of course, because I'm on the board for Lanai. So what you do is you can do the suggested ones, or like Ozark Village, that's Peggy's. I'll follow that. Follow Camp Bagnall, of course. And then any of these other ones, On this, because I'm on a team, I purposefully followed all of my team members. So each of our pages, I've managed all of our social media pages. So each of them follow each other, which helps so that if somebody's on one, they're going to get suggested to go to the other as well. I follow Mike Staten, Kristen, I was staring at her. Okay. Carol and Kristen as well. Of course, you got to follow the head honcho there. And then there's some other random things. The Malted Monkey is suggested. I don't follow them. I really, since this is a professional page, I try to keep it pretty basic. This is just so that once in a while I can share some things outside of just real estate. So next we're going to go to updates. Updates will let you know like page interactions here, who's liking, who's sharing, things like that. Also, if they want you to run ads on posts that are doing well, they're going to suggest them here. I don't typically run ads through Facebook for this. I run mine through Command. That way it has that lead capture form. And I actually am having some success with the one that I'm running through Command right now. We can take a look at that. That's the one I started last week. So here's your inbox. I'm pretty sure that's self-explanatory. If anybody direct messages you, or like you can see, I have some direct messages. Let's see. And then if anybody comments on your Facebook or Instagram page, if you have your Instagram page connected, those will be right here. I'm going to go back.
So I should get an Instagram, shouldn't I?
Yes, if you want. And what's great about Instagram is when you post to Instagram, it will automatically post to Facebook to you if you have it set up correctly. And then we'll get into publishing tools here in a few more clicks, and I'll show you why having them connected is really, really easy to manage. We'll get into that here in just a second. So resources and tools, I honestly haven't been to this tab in a long time. So we're going to be exploring this one together.
Where do you see that?
That's weird. I wonder why. Kristen doesn't have that button. I don't know that it's necessary. Business resources. Let's try and take me to the CDC. I got no idea. Okay, we're going to skip that tab.
You're on the left side.
Yeah, you'll have to click on your business page there. Yeah. See, it's a little eye with the resources. It's right above manage jobs. Weird. She just has a business app store there instead. Strange. Okay. Maybe Facebook's testing. I am part of a Facebook test group, so they may be testing some stuff on my account that I don't know about. Manage jobs. If I were offering jobs to be hired for, this is where I would put them. Sorry, I'm just checking on things.
So if you're trying to recruit people to be in your downline?
Yeah, you could run recruiting ads through this. I run those directly through Facebook, directly through Command, because I mark them a certain way in my Command database. They could turn into clients as well as downline, so it just depends. Notifications is kind of going to be the same. This is, again, showing me who is liking and commenting on my stuff and or sharing it. Insights is where things get really interesting. This is where analytics come into play. If these are things that you watch a lot, this is where you can figure out how the posts that you're doing are working for you. Now, my numbers are inflated some because I am running an active ad. So Facebook is pushing people to my profile. Page views is 2. I have 2 new page likes. Post reactions are up significantly. Post engagement is up. My responsiveness is really low, but I typically respond within 3 minutes, which is high. So I don't know. I think that I probably respond more than it's thinking. I just don't respond after every single message that they send me. like if the conversation's obviously over, then I don't like have to have the last word, I guess. But Facebook wants me to. I have 2 new page followers in the last week, and my videos, I've had 30 views on my 3-second video views. So
No videos, no. None of that stuff.
let's see. Yeah, that video I did last night has 84 views. 6 people have liked it, and 5 people have done a reaction of some sort to it. So that's nice. That's one of my highest ones. The Ignite one where I did letters was my highest viewed one in the last week with 102. Total page likes, I have 141 people that have liked my page, and that's up 100% from last week. I did 12 posts this week, and 139 people did a reaction, comment, or a share. So that's that. You can do this for last 7 days, last 28 days, today, yesterday, however you want to do it. Let's go. And these are a different breakdown of other things. So we're going to go back to this. And we're going to click on publishing tools. This is my favorite place on Facebook business pages. Also, if you're doing things from your phone, download the Facebook business page manager. It allows you to pre-schedule posts like what we're getting ready to do. You can post them to both Instagram and Facebook pre-scheduled. So for those of you who think that I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I post stuff, I'm not. I was just too lazy to change the time other than from PM to AM when I scheduled that to be posted at 4 PM the day before. So I typically do social media post scheduling at night, and then I schedule it for like the next day early in the morning so that it catches people when they wake up and they start scrolling through their feed as they're waking up. So statistics show that every person pretty much in the world is on Facebook for at least 2 hours a day. Not Kristen, she says. I can tell you that my dad and stepmom are not included in that group because they don't have Facebook. So, but out of the people that have Facebook, they do spend an average of 2 hours at a minimum a day scrolling. So you want to get their attention. We want to be part of that engagement. We want to be part of what they're paying attention to. The more that you are in their face, the more that they will trust you. So the more that you appear, the more that they trust you. That's why billboards are important, even though you don't generally get phone calls off of them. It's about brand recognition. So that's why Anna Marie Hopkins has done $22 million in sales down here this year. She's building a huge sphere of influence. Now, she pays a crazy amount to Zillow. Don't get me wrong. That definitely gives her a leg up. But she has billboards everywhere. She's on social media all the time. She stands out in front of that building on the strip that she's renting. So it's about being in their face. The more that you can be there and be present, the more that they will openly just trust you because they will feel like they know you. It's kind of like celebrities. Like, none of us know Matthew McConaughey, but after reading his book, I feel like I could be friends with him. I feel like we would get along, but he does not know me, things like that. So, your potential customers, they don't know you, but if you give them that feeling that they know you, then they will be more inclined to just naturally trust you, which is good. We need them to trust us. Not that we're going to be dishonest or anything, but we do need them to trust us to give them the best real estate advice possible. So I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyways, just be in their face a lot.
So how much did she spend on billboards?
I'm not sure, but she's done $22 million in volume this year already.
Just
Here.
like from January to March?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can look it up on the MLS, by the way. That's how I know that. The ranking report on the MLS. So this is my published posts. From here, you can create a post using this button. And you can see that I've connected my Instagram account. The little logo's right there. So if I wanted this post to post to both, I would select both boxes. And then I'm just going to type something here. I'm going to add a photo or a video here. I'm going to link to my website here. I backlink every single time that I post to elisejenkins.com. If you haven't looked at it, I would encourage you to. It pretty much forces you to put in your contact information, and that's very deliberate. It's very, very, very deliberate. I want their contact information. I need to know if they're a buyer or seller, so it makes you choose. It's, I don't know, it's not against the rules. That's all I know. And then we would schedule the post right here. This down arrow would show up here. Let me put in test. Ta-da. It's loading a preview. This button should show up. Okay, it's gonna make me actually do a real one. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I usually don't use command to make my posts. That's because I've already got everything set up. If I were just starting out, and so a year ago when I was starting out, designs in command was not very friendly. It's much more friendly to use now. I would recommend using it. I just already have all of my stuff set up in Adobe Spark, and I really don't want to have to move all of these accounts over. And I do social media for people outside of real estate. I do social media for a Cutco representative. My friend Blake uses my Adobe account. My mom uses it for Beachbody stuff, and I use it for Lanai. So I don't want to move all of that to command, and my photography business pays for my whole Adobe suite. So I would be paying for this service and not using it. So we're going to go to my KW folder here, and we're going to go to Elise Jenkins. And let's find a post. Haven't used this one in a long time, so I think I'm going to use this one. This used to be part of my recruiting website before I changed that. I pretty much deleted that whole website and made elisejenkins.com out of it. But this used to be on, on my website. So I'm going to use this. No, go away. Move you over here. Download. So all we're doing is downloading something for me to post so that I can show you guys how to schedule it, because it was going to make me use it wanted some actual content, not some fake content.
Okay.
Facebook knew what I was doing, I think. So this is my content for today. This is going to be my 3-second video. If you notice, almost all my posts are video. That's very deliberate. Videos get more views than still pictures. So we're going to go back to Facebook. I'm going to move your face over here.
Pull that from that somebody else's that you were using?
No, I made that. So I made that using Adobe Spark. Okay. And you can use Ripple as well. Jenna Bates uses Ripple. Either is fine. And both you can use as an app on your phone as well. So we're going to create post like we did a second ago. We're going to select Instagram and Facebook. We're going to add video because the video takes a little bit longer to open. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Preview unavailable. That doesn't want to link. Okay, whatever. Now it will show the whole video on Facebook. It just doesn't show like the full sides of it on here. Have you considered a career in real estate? What do we want the words to be? Have you considered a career in real estate?
Looking for a change?
Yeah, I
Why
like
not real
for a
estate?
change.
I don't know. Looking for a career type change? I don't know.
Okay. Looking for a career change, real estate is a great option, and the best part is, drumroll, you can live anywhere. A lot of jobs require you to live in certain places. I think a great thing about real estate is that we can literally move to a different part of the country, and we just have to retake the state test for that state. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run at 9:49, which is sorry, I have an email from a title company about a closing. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, anyway, 9:49, we're gonna go ahead and let this post, and follow me on my social media so that you can see it automatically post, I guess. April 6th, which is of course today. So typically how I would do this if this were in the evening is I would change, typically that would say PM, obviously if we were in the evening. So I would change that to AM, and then I would change this to the next day. So like that would say April 7th. And then that's how I end up with posts at like 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm actually posting them at 3 p.m. the day before. I just don't want it to run that day. I want it to run the next. So that's that. And then schedule posts. This is a video, so it does take some time, but in like 10 minutes, it will show up on here, which is my scheduled post area. So you can also go down the left-hand side here and explore some other things like the Creator Studio. I'm not going to take this tutorial, but I would encourage you to. So this is the Creator Studio. I've had 2 comments on videos, 92 link clicks, pages or people reached, and some engagement. So this is just more of a place for analytics. Creative tools are here, monetization. So if you I don't know, if you were a gamer and you were able to get your account monetized through Facebook, then you would be able to make some money off of ads that you run on Facebook. Now, my YouTube channel is something that I'm striving to get monetized, but I have to have like 1,000 followers or something like that. 1,000 followers and 4,000 viewing hours in a month, I believe, is what I have to have in order to monetize my YouTube account. But that's something that I'm going to be actively building. I have some pieces in place that are on their way so that I can start building that channel so that it's not just home tours. Again, I want to be an information resource. So it's going to be things in addition to the home tours. It's going to be, here's what's happening this week. Here are some things for new home buyers. Here's some local attractions to take the kids to. Here's some things to do for a date night. Here's some free activities that you can go do. I don't know, just a list of pretty much whatever I can come up with for that week. And I've wanted to do this for a long time, but there's a guy in Sedalia or Springfield, I think it's Springfield, who is a realtor, and his YouTube channel has like 1,500 followers on it, and he does these things. So I've been following him for about a month. I watch his videos once a week. He posts, I don't know if I'll be posting that regularly, but I've been following him to kind of get some guidance on what it is that he does. And I actually, he's not a KW agent, but I still reached out to him and asked if he wanted to start a referral relationship. Just to see, it's not going to hurt anything. The worst he can do is say no. And whatever, you're a stranger to me. I don't care. I don't care if you say no. I would have loved to have gotten a yes from you, but it doesn't hurt my feelings. You don't know me, whatever. So sound collection, if you need some sound for your videos. If I were building my videos here, I would want some sound. These are usually royalty free. That's why they're here. YouTube also has royalty free music. So if you're editing your videos on YouTube, you can do that as well. Posts to review, your posts, forms library, draft forms library. I don't know why you would need, lead ad forms. Okay, yeah, we don't need to deal with that. And if you had a shop on here, you would be able to edit those things, pending orders and out orders as well. And the story archive, this is new that you can, I'm going to turn that on. The stories are visible for 24 hours. After that, they disappear and will be archived here. So I do post some things to my story on Facebook and Instagram. Usually it's when we have a new listing or an announcement about Lanai or something. So that's that. Let's take a look at a private group. So my downline, which is not growing yet, but will, has its own Facebook private group. One of the benefits to being in my downline through KW is that I will personally meet with you once a month to do one-on-one training for an hour at a time until it gets unmanageable and I can't do that myself. That's how I want to stand out as a leader in KW, and one of the things that I want to offer as a benefit to joining my downline, because you can join anybody's downline, but one of the benefits of mine is that you get training from me, individualized one-on-one. So that's a private group. This is where I will post for special things for my downline. This is a private group for past and current clients. I haven't started building this out yet, but if you remember about a month ago or so, we actually built this in one of these trainings. And if you notice right here, this is the same background that's on my Instagram, it's on my LinkedIn page, it's on my Facebook business page. This is considered branding. This is what I use on the background of all of my stuff except for my YouTube channel. I built something that matches my website for the back of my YouTube channel. But because I keep this the same, it's always going to be familiar to people, which is also important. Sorry, there keeps being people at my front door. I think it's actually cats triggering the camera. But my phone keeps going off and I'm like, no, nobody's awake right now. Okay, so private groups. The reasons that private groups are good, and the reason that I built this one is for the people who will actually interact with me. This is for the people that actually engage. So this is kind of an exclusive group. I would put my new listings here, any new listings that I have written permission to advertise about. And this, of course, is in addition to the emails that I'm sending out through command that go to all of the MLS or certain groups of price ranging that people are in. Like if I have a buyer that doesn't want to spend more than $200,000, I'm not going to send them an email about a $300,000 house, right? So I have my people in command set up in price ranges. Now, it may not be their exact price range, but like $0 to $200,000 is the first one. $200,000 to $400,000 is like the second one. So that when I get a listing or get permission to advertise a listing in that price range, I can send it to all of those people who were looking in that price range, or, you know, that price range and up. If they were looking in that, like if they're looking for a $600,000 house, but I have a really good $300,000 house that fits most of their criteria, I'm going to go ahead and just send it to both price range groups, because they, even though that's less than what they really wanted to spend, it may still fit all of their needs. And then they're going to be like, well, she didn't hesitate to show us things that were lower in our budget that still fit all of our needs, and she saved us money. And I've literally never met anyone that didn't want to save money. Mm-hmm. So that's why this group isn't. Katie's over there like almost crying, laughing so hard at me. You would be surprised. Okay, so I grew up being told free is for me. That's a saying that my dad said that I've taken to heart. Like a lot of my furniture in my house came out of condos that people didn't want because they had their own furniture, and realtors here like needed to get that out of that condo so that their people could move in. Jim Trowbridge, all of my end tables in my living room are from a condo that Jim Trowbridge sold last year. My coffee table and my end tables. And all we had to do was go get them. My entire bedroom set in our bedroom came out of a condo. All antique stuff. Brand new bed was still in the plastic. Like, That's the only way I would take a bed, by the way, is if it was still in the original wrapper. But like you could tell it was clearly never used. And it worked out really well. So if you ever, Gerald's creeping through the window.
I wish I had that kind of fortune because everything I've gotten, I've acquired, but it's not new. And I like to repurpose things.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I've been out on my own since I was 18. So I've refinished furniture. I found there's some serenity in that.
There is. It's nice to breathe new life into things. That's why I like
Yes.
gardening. And I
Do
like
that too.
at Walmart, I kind of purposely pick the sad plants. I just like to bring them back to life a little bit.
Well, it's fun to watch them grow. If you can make that grow, you can have anything grow, I think, because I did that over before we went into COVID, way before we went into COVID. Shirks, there's some Mennonites out by us, and they have at the end of the year like 75-cent plants. Well,
Oh yeah.
there I was, and
Mhm.
the fern that I have that was 75 cents, Elise, was just like dead and nothing. And it's 20 times that size now.
Oh, that's awesome.
It
So
requires patience too.
it does. It does. Because they're not,
I'm sorry, we got off path.
no, you're okay. They're not instantly responsive. Although you will see the leaves perk up within a few hours of being watered. That's always like the first good sign. I like to do time lapses of those because you don't really like see
Carving
it.
them out to
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah, you don't see it as well unless you do like a time lapse so that you can see the actual plant move.
True. I have a new fern like that right now. It's bad to the bone. It's real light, but it's very dense. And he told me it grows like on top, like moss, like on top of
Oh,
itself.
that's
you know?
cool.
And it's bad to the bone. And he's like, don't get discouraged. And so I'm looking for the new little coils coming up, of the new growth. And it's really a fern. I like to touch it. I'm textile. I'm all about touching, and I'm all about that too. And there's all kinds of ferns I've come across. And this one here, I can't think of the name of it, but it feels real cool. It feels like it's really kind of thick, but it's not. It's not. It feels real dense, and it's not.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got.
You're okay. So this is Instagram. If you haven't seen Instagram, I would encourage you to indulge. You'll notice I have a significant amount more that I'm following versus are following me. But what I did was every single person that it invited me to follow, I follow them. And then I've I've grown 75 new contacts. These are people I've never met, would have never followed or anything, but because this is a business page, I'm not too picky about who I follow. If it were my personal page, I wouldn't follow all of these people because I like to keep my private life more private than most people.
Well, I don't know if you said it, and I don't know if Kristen can hear me or not, but I don't know if you said it when we did a Tech Tuesday on Facebook a month or so ago, and you said, make sure you secure your personal site before you get your business page out there. So I was like, oh, that was a really good, helpful hint. I didn't even think about that because you already have hackers.
Yeah.
Now I don't really need more uninvited people coming in and on my personal page. And, people can judge you. They're very judgy because what you put on your personal page, they may not like, and that could really interfere with your business.
And even if they do like it, you're still chasing people away that didn't.
Correct window.
A lot of people that before the election, a lot of agents were posting political things. And I don't agree with most of the political things that a lot of the agents were sharing, not because I don't think that they should have a right to say whatever they want. They
Right.
should say whatever they want. But your customers do not need to know your political views.
Not at all.
They need to know about how many children you have in your house. They don't need to know where your house is. They don't need to know many, many things like the stick figures that you put and the stickers on the back of your car. That tells people how many people are in your house.
Yep. Well, you know, I have a guy that it seems I've learned a hard lesson a long time ago, because I used to work in the career center in Jefferson City. And I had a man that thought that because I was helping him after he started coming in for a while and wasn't getting anywhere and wasn't getting a job, my job is to listen to him and coach him through then and get a job. He took it personal. You know, I went from the career center to Cole County Recorder of Deeds, and that's still public in the public eye. And he found out where I worked because he found out what I drove, and then he started following me. You know, I've had stalkers, so I locked down my personal page.
Yeah.
So at least I think I did, at least, so that I don't have that problem getting
Yep.
ready to go into this. You know, I'm not trying to project anything. And when it comes to having an opinion as a real estate agent, I have none. I was taught by a recorder of deeds, elected official, trained and taught us what we should and should not say. When you're in a business, you don't talk personal. It's not necessary. They're there strictly for business.
Yes.
You're there to help them and only help them.
Yes.
And you know, when it came to political thing this last year, here's all I could say to people, and I'd say it, I wouldn't put anything on my Facebook page, but this is just something that nobody took offense to. You know what? I'm just going to go vote. So if you go vote, you definitely are going to make a difference. And that put it in a whole different perspective for people. It shut people down that were lit up, you know, about certain things. Because, you know, we all have our own agenda. We all have our own beliefs too. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I was just focusing along the same lines that you were. I just was like, you know, I don't care what your opinion is as long as you go vote. I am so happy that people utilize their rights to vote.
Amen.
Don't ever want to lose that right.
No,
So
ma'am.
I could care less what your opinion is. My opinion is please go vote. So speaking
We
of,
can't vote many times. We can vote one time, but vote.
so make sure that you go vote today for your new mayor if you're in Lake Ozark, or
I'm
district stuff if you're in Rocky Mount. I know I don't know what else we're voting for in Rocky Mount, but I know Fire District Board is on there. So Instagram TV, let's have a quick conversation about that. This is obviously my Instagram feed. We're going to go to Instagram TV. This is where my large videos go. On Instagram, they don't go to your regular feed, they go to Instagram TV. You have to deliberately upload them to there. So right here. Instagram won't do videos that are more than like 15 seconds long on your regular feed. So you have to deliberately upload it here. But what Instagram is trying to do is they're trying to become the new YouTube, which they're a few years behind on that. But I don't know. I think they're kind of doing it well. So all of my videos that go on YouTube also get put onto here, uploaded individually as well, because I want to build out both platforms so that when you Google Elise Jenkins, you're getting flooded with real estate stuff. If I were to do that right now, and it gets a little bit biased because I Google myself on a regular basis, but actually, let's go.
How do you, like, if you comment,
incognito.
how do you make this send?
Press
Did I
enter.
send it?
Click on it. Now press enter.
That wasn't that funny.
Which one? Oh, that's the first concert.
Yeah.
There you go. Ha. I just pressed enter.
I was doing that.
I know it was trying to pick a name.
Is it just the three of us?
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
there
can you
might be people on Facebook. I'm not sure. So we're gonna Google Elise Jenkins. I'm incognito
I had you here.
so that it doesn't know who I am. You can see the first thing that it's gonna do is it's gonna bring up my Google My Business page, which I actively build out. I post to this at least once a week so that it organically, I need to change my phone number on there, but so that it organically shows up more often. It also brings in my LinkedIn, my Instagram, more Instagram. Oh, it brings up my personal one. Oh, well. Facebook, realtor.com, my Zillow profile, Goodreads. I read a lot. So I do use Goodreads often. And then it brings up EliseJenkins.com. It brings up my MySpace account from like a decade ago. And it also brings up YouTube. Which YouTube is this? I'm curious. Oh, so it brings up my personal YouTube. We'll have to work on building that out. Let's go to page 2. It brings up some images from when I used to do transcription work. I used to ghostwrite for a transcription company. So it brings up some of those articles that I shared on my LinkedIn page. Missouri Division of Professional Services, so Missouri real estate licensee.
Dang, you have a lot.
Oh, this is from when I got a scholarship to the Missouri Peace Officers Association. TiffanyServantRealty.com is on page 2 in the About section. Trello. Tributes. So this is Kim Jenkins and Chris Dare and step great granddaughter. So this is from a eulogy. I don't even know who that is. Who the heck was it? Who the heck passed away and used my name?
So when you have a new view, how do you go see who that is? Like it just
It
popped
should
up
be
in our
right
thing.
here in the bell.
Just popped up like a moment ago.
Yeah, it should be right there, but you can go to your page and then go to Insights. So we go right here.
Okay.
And then we go down to Insights.
Insights. It's over here.
Yep.
It just popped up a little flaggy thing over there.
Maybe actions on page. Oh, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I guess
We will
I'm learning.
dive more into that.
That's all right.
A review
So-
that I left for Great American Title Company is on page 2. Pirelli Center Instagram followers. I do really like Pirelli Natural Horsemanship, so Instagram following, comments that I've made there. McDuffie Law Firm. I used McDuffie for a work settlement in the past. He was phenomenal, so I left him a great review. Not the Nolts Country Market, so the Amish market or Mennonite market in Eldon, left them a great review. Ads, page 3. This is important to look at because your clients will Google you. So it's important to know what's showing up on the first 3 pages. And again, I did this incognito so that Google didn't know it was my computer. They do still kind of know, but for the most part, they don't.
How did you do that?
The 3 dots right here.
Okay.
And then new incognito window. So this is from when I was on the news when I was in college. I shared some knowledge about why the sheriff was struggling to staff the courts with deputies. They were dramatically underfunded, same issues policing has always had. This was the genealogy tree for my actual family for like 14 generations. You can track that here. I actually have all that printed out in a binder. I don't know what this is, but it has something to do with my Capture the Lake company. Oh, on Audible, I reviewed Adventures of a Horse Doctor's Husband. So you can see that it pulls some crazy weird things, but if you look at these things, you can find, this is my stepmom's dad's funeral, another real estate things, clear hanging bags. I reviewed those on Amazon. But you can see how easily, if you pull these things, these are very personal things. Some of these things can tell you a lot about me if you understand what you're looking at. This newscast right here from 2013, I was studying criminal law. I knew this topic really well. We had several class debates about it. So if you kind of know what I was doing at that time of my life, you know where I was, you know what I studied. You can find like the entire genealogy report on half of the site, like literally one side of my entire family. You can find books that I've reviewed, so you know things that I'm interested in. Obviously, you can find that I'm a realtor. You can find Amazon reviews on things that I've purchased in the past, eulogies from family members that have passed away, customer reviews of software that I've used. So it's important to know what's on your first 3 pages on Google. Just
What if a lot of it's not you?
well, that's good. For me, I have such a unique name that it stands out a lot. There's not a lot of people that spell my first name the way that I do or my last name the way that I do. So it's super, super, super important to know what the results of a Google search in your name will be.
Yeah, but some of this isn't good and it's not me.
Well, that's okay. You can at least say that it's not you.
I mean, like this is, but that's me. That's not me.
That's okay. We can work on
Oh,
building your
no.
online presence and getting some of those things to not show up. But anyways, that's why it's important to know the more that you know.
That's not me either.
No, there's a 5th grader on Twitter that says Kristen loves you. But anyways, that's why it's important to build your online presence so that you can weed out the people that spell their names similarly. And that's just Kristen Stordahl. So you may type Kristen Stordahl, Missouri and get completely different results, or Kristen Stordahl Realtor,
Yeah,
Kristen
that's an
Stordahl
M.
Realtor, Missouri. Or include your middle initial in some social medias. I'm kind of on the fence about including your middle initial because that gets a little bit more specific than I would prefer to be. But okay, so that's that. That's kind of like the basics. I feel like I've overwhelmed you with Facebook and Instagram today. So this was recorded. It is my goal, like one of my only goals today is to upload the last month worth of these trainings because I meant to last week and didn't get to it. So my goal today is to get them all uploaded so that you can actually utilize the ones that I've recorded for you. That's all I have. As you guys have questions, of course, I'll be on floor duty this afternoon. So I'm here with the exception of a lunch date with Ashley Butterfield at 11:30. Here she has a gift card she needed help spending. So we're going to go spend it. Other than that, if you guys have questions, you know how to reach me. Obviously, you guys have my cell phone number and my email address. I'm pretty sure we're all Facebook friends. So whatever shy of a smoke signal you want to give me for communication, I got you covered. Other than that, have a wonderful day. I look forward to next week. If you have a topic you want to have covered, let me know. We'll get it on the roster here. All right. Have a wonderful day. If you're viewing on Facebook, sayonara.